Hello, my name's Angela. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Ange. You
Yeah,
keeping out of
I'm
trouble? I hope you're keeping out of trouble.
yeah, always.
Yeah,
So as you know, we're from Better Merch, and I'm the
yeah,
social media and marketing creator.
yeah,
And we just want to talk to you a bit today because obviously you're buying our merch, and we just want to talk to you about why you're buying our merch and just about like your career and stuff like that.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what made you want to be a comedian?
Well, because I wanted to be a rock star,
Yeah,
and being Italian, my dad's like, no, there's no rock
yeah,
stars in Italy, which there are actually. So go and do something else. So he says, go get a degree and do whatever you want. So I got a degree in food science. Actually, I got two in food science, and then when I was in my honors year doing finishing off the second degree, I thought, you know what? I've made him happy. Everyone's happy now. I could never be a rock star. I don't have the voice. If you hear me singing, you'd know why. You don't want to hear me singing.
no,
And then so then I started doing comedy. I thought, well, this is maybe my way into being a rock star. This
that's good.
could be my rock star moment. So I did it, and I guess in a way, I thought I became a rock star comedian. Some people
Yeah.
might not. Hang on a
But
minute.
you would have got lots of like
Now,
attention stuff from your
now,
work.
now I'm more of a rock star comedian.
Yeah. What's the video that's got you the most traction or like the work that's got you the most like views and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So there's been a few along the way. The first one is something that I couldn't do now.
Yeah,
It's a joke about my grandfather having a smash with a Chinese guy.
yeah,
Like getting rear-ended with a Chinese driver.
that's funny.
Which is so politically incorrect now.
Yeah,
But back in the day, it was okay. And that's times changed. So that was one.
yeah,
There was another one where every ethnic grandmother sends you out to go and get something from the shed or the garage, like go
hmm,
get me two potatoes or go get me two. So growing up here in Australia, of course, two just means two. So you'd go and get just two of whatever she wanted. But for them, two didn't mean two, it meant eight, nine, 10. So I did this skit about that. And that got me a lot of traction as well. It's called the Dupatati routine for all the Italians watching.
that's good.
Then over the years, and there's been different things. This one got me a lot of love and a bit of hate. Was talking about ADHD and who's got it and why we didn't have it, or did we have it? Was it there?
Yeah,
Has it always been there? Is it something new?
hmm,
Have you got the new version? Have you got the old version? Right.
yeah,
So, so that got me a lot of love, but it got me a little bit of hate. Um, yeah, there's been a few clips along the way. I suppose the one that people really love the most are the clips where I talk about the ethnic parents kind of
yeah.
losing it. You know.
I'm not like Italian or anything myself, but like I grew up in Thornbury, so I sort of understand it because we have a lot of like Italian and Greek people there as well.
Yeah. Well, you're a
Now,
wog by osmosis. You know,
pardon?
you're a wog by osmosis. Simply
Yeah,
by growing up in Thornbury.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that
Now I
you've
live
got
in
Greek and
Geelong now,
Italian
so it's very
embedded
different.
in you. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I sort of relate to that though. Like as someone who like smoke fun of life and stuff, like I sort of make fun of my disability and that. And
Yeah.
like
Right.
some people don't know how to take it, but like I think it's funny.
Well, of
Like I
course,
sort of get that.
of course. So I'm assuming you've heard of Steady Eddie. You remember Steady Eddie?
Yes.
Well, he
Yeah.
did his whole routine was about was about being having cerebral palsy, right?
Yeah, I know.
His entire act was about that. Not everything. He was actually really he was really clever because he diversified a little bit. But yeah, that's good. I mean, hey, you got one of two things to do. You're gonna laugh about it or you're gonna cry. Which one?
Yeah, like
You
yeah, I'll
know?
probably laugh and like make the most of it. But a lot of people get offended and don't know how to take it, but I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously, like we're an inclusive like employment space.
Yeah.
What's your like views on inclusion in comedy and like how's it changed?
Uh in respect to what though? Like in
Like in
particular.
terms of diversity, do you think people are getting better at like laughing at people like me and stuff like that, or do you think they're still like a bit uncomfortable?
Well, no, they're uncomfortable and it's becoming more.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you've got cerebral palsy or if you've got a disability and you're making fun of yourself, that's fine. If
yeah,
I don't, I can't. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas in the past, I could,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Because see, it's in our game, making fun of someone with a disability, if you don't have a disability, is seen to be punching down. But then again, then there's some people in the camp like yourself, like, would you like?
Yeah,
Okay, some people are saying, "Oh,
that's
you're not
probably
Italian,
true.
you can't make fun of Italians." Why not? I don't. I've got no
Yeah.
problem with it. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
I saw an Aussie trying to do an Italian impression, I think that's funny. Now but here's something interesting. So you can make fun of the Italian accent on, say, for example, ads on TV. You can
Yeah.
make fun of a Greek. You can make fun of a German. You can make fun of a French accent, but you can't make
Yeah.
fun of an Indian accent or you can't make fun of a Chinese accent or an Asian accent,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, it's
Why is
things
that?
like that.
If you can make fun of Italians, why can't you make fun of Indians? It's a perceived idea of the level of struggle. So right now, Indians and Asians are the new immigrants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't make fun of the new
Yeah.
immigrants. Right? Whereas the Greeks and Italians are, yeah, they've been here forever. You can make fun of them. So even though the Chinese have been here forever, you can go to any country town. You won't see a French restaurant. You won't see an Italian restaurant, but I'll bet you'll see a Chinese restaurant
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So it has changed, um, but it's also compartmentalized. So there are some comedians who do some really way out there kind of stuff, and on TV wouldn't be allowed, but they have an audience, right? Like
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik, he's a very dark type of comedian, right?
Yeah.
Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. Um, they've got their style, but they've also got their audience. Some of their
Yeah.
stuff wouldn't be accepted on TV, but you go and see their show. So this is why I love my show. This is why I love my job, because out there, I can't say whatever I want. In here, I can do whatever I want, and you pay
Yeah,
for it.
and around your like audience space as well because they get you. It's like an art form.
Yeah, exactly
Well, it's
right.
an
I mean,
art form.
sometimes you push it. Yeah, I pushed it on the last tour when I was just talking about um, gender identity, right?
Yeah,
And I know it's a big issue, and I understand that, but there are some things that are just ridiculous about it that I
I
felt,
know there is. Yeah.
and so I talked about that. And for the most part, people agreed with me, but every now and then you would see people getting up and leaving. It was too much for them.
Why?
They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear what
I
I had to
know.
say. And then some people are like, dude, I come here to hear your wog comedy. I'm not here to
I
hear
know.
your view on gender or
Yeah.
gender identity politics, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, but like it's incredible what people think, how they take it. Here's another thing. If you're not in the show, right, and you see a 30-second clip that someone's recorded, you can't base it on that because you weren't in the show. You didn't hear what I said before. You didn't hear what I said after. You didn't hear the context of how it was delivered. So
Yeah.
you don't really have all the ammunition you need to be able to pull a trigger to have a go at me if you weren't in the crowd.
Yeah. It's like cancel culture. Like you only see like 30 seconds of someone and you don't really base it on their entire personality.
Exactly right. And,
Yeah.
and the media love to do that. They love to get a 30-second grab, which is going to get your attention, right? And then because that's clickbait, right? That's what's
Yeah.
going to make people click on the link. And the more clicks you get, more advertising you get.
But especially like in our industry with vending merchant, this ties perfectly into what I'm gonna ask you as well.
Hmm.
I like since going into this industry, like I've had to learn how to make the audience like get our products in like 10 seconds or less. So it's just about like discovering what's like right for me, and it's very interesting to see what people like really click with and what they don't.
Yeah. But also
Yeah.
people's level of focus has changed.
Yeah,
So if you don't grab someone within 3 seconds, you haven't got them, right?
I
And
know.
COVID had a lot to do with that because we spent a lot of time. Look, it would have eventually happened, but I don't think it would have happened this quickly because we were at home, because we spent a lot of time on the phones. Two things happened during COVID. Our attention span decreased dramatically, and also through that came a thing called jump cuts. So,
Yeah,
so if you're watching my stand up and I'm kind of, and then they cut all that out and they go from one bit to the next bit, and so you're seeing that in the edit, right? Where
yeah,
they cut out all the ums and the ahs and the spaces, and that's called jump cut. I'm sure you're aware of it. I mean, it's not a new term. Everyone
yeah,
who's done some editing understands it. But if they don't know what it's called, that's what it's called, jump cutting. And so that's another thing that was born out of COVID.
yeah. And what made you want to get into helping us to better merch?
Well, your boss, she's pretty out there.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she kind of held a gun to our head and said, "You need to buy our merchandise."
Yeah, she's
No,
like that sometimes.
I'm joking. She's great. You know what? She approached us and said, "Hey, I've got a couple of ideas. I came to see the show. I saw your merchandise. I've got a couple of ideas. What do you think?" And I said, "Let's go with it." And one of them is right there. Can you see that bag? Right?
Yeah.
Let me get that. Hang on a second. Oh, there's a few of them. Right, look. So I don't know. See this bag? She goes, you should do these Hessian bags for the
That's
normals
so
that want to
cool.
go shopping.
Yeah, I
So
love
what we
it.
thought we'd do was we get all the logos and change them around to the way that the Wog grandmother would say it, like
Yeah,
Colis, Woolly Woolly,
always.
GIA, and
Yeah,
Aldo. You know,
cool.
so there's a great idea, and they sell. They're a great product.
Yeah, and they
And
relate to your audience as
well,
well.
they relate to the audience. It's functional. See, my audience, I'm just not going to buy a T-shirt with my head on it. I'm not Michael Jackson.
No,
I'm not Metallica. You know, I'm not John Bon Jovi. You're not gonna walk around with my head on a T-shirt. Okay, let's face it.
you never know
Um,
after this interview, maybe.
you're good. You're good. Um, they
That's what I'm gonna do.
so any merchandise that we do has to be functional. As a book,
Yeah,
as a DVD, someone's going to watch it, be entertained. There's an apron that we sell, right?
yeah,
Any T-shirt that we sell has to have something funny that people can relate to it.
yeah.
That
It
you
has
see.
to
Yeah,
relate
the
to
thing
them.
is, see, when you're wearing an AC/DC shirt and you're walking down the street, you're telling other people that you follow AC/DC. Now they may not follow AC/DC, but at least they know who AC/DC is, even if they don't follow them. If you've got a Joe Avati face on your T-shirt and you're walking around going, I love Joe Avati, you don't want people going, "Who's that?" Because that
Yeah.
defeats the purpose. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm well known, but not I'm not a household name in Australia.
Yeah.
So, in Canada it's a different story, but here it's no one's going to want a T-shirt with my head on it.
I must admit, I had to, not that I didn't know who you were, but I had to research on you before I interviewed you.
Yeah, well, no, well, that's fine. But also the other thing
Yeah,
is this, because of, see, back in the day, how old are you?
24.
24. Okay, so back in the day, in the good old days, we call it.
Yeah,
Um, the only way you were famous was if you're a rock star, you're a movie star, if you're on Hey Hey It's Saturday, the midday show, or on the news. That was it. There
yeah.
was only very, very select places, and anybody who was anybody was on any of those five platforms. Okay, in the
Hmm.
newspaper, right? Now, I sell out concerts all over the world, right? Two, three
Yeah.
thousand, 5,000 people, all over the world. Europe, America, Canada, Australia, obviously, Belgium. But if you,
Belgium.
yeah, Belgium, yeah, I do shows in
That's
Belgium, yeah.
cool. Yeah,
But if you don't know whose phone's that, is that your phone?
yeah.
Oh no, there's a phone here. Hang on a minute. Let me just turn that off. I'm not sure whose phone that is, but um, so but I've got an audience and I'm online. If you don't go on my page, you're not going to know who I am.
Hmm.
You're not going to walk down the street and you walk past me, you go, someone will go, oh, that was such and such. And they go, who? Because you don't know. I don't know. Three-quarters of the people who, like these people come in for concerts. Oh, we're going to the such and such a concert. Who? I've never heard of them. I don't know. I don't listen to the
Yeah, it's
radio.
like it's so easy to get famous now. It's ridiculous.
Well, now it's fame. Well, what about the Kardashians? Famous for just being famous, for doing
I
nothing,
know.
you
Yeah.
know? So the whole landscape of fame and how you get there has changed. Also, don't forget, I've been doing this for 30 years. So
Oh
now
wow.
anyone who has even a clip that's even the tiniest bit funny is going to catapult them into the stratosphere because you've got Facebook, which is a leap, Instagram's a leap, TikTok's a leap, YouTube is now another springboard. When I was growing up, when I was starting in doing this, there was none of this. I had
Yeah,
to
like
work clubs. I actually had to go out and work and earn it. And now, geez, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. And that's why you see so many comedians, so many more internet acts going on. And but where you really see them fail is when they actually get on stage, because they just
mhm.
don't have the stage time. You can't, they can't. Where are they going to get that? Where are they going to get a chance to have the stage time? You really need to be doing it for a long, long, long time, and you might be really funny in a 2 or 3 minute clip or a 30-second clip, but do that on stage for 90 minutes straight by yourself.
Yeah, it's a lost start. It will be a lost
It's
start.
not easy. And that's
Yeah,
where
like
you that's where you determine who's who.
yeah. Like I remember I went to viral on TikTok and they thought that was really funny because they had a thing, tell me you weren't popular in high school without telling me. And
Yeah,
I just showed everyone my wheelchair and wheeled across the screen up. And it was so simple and it was just like one video and I still get likes on it today. You
yeah,
can look at it too, but it went viral. I can't remember how many likes it got, but it
yeah.
was ridiculous.
Well, have
And
you
like
have you decided? Have you ever thought of doing comedy? You seem pretty
no.
funny. You seem pretty you're self-deprecating. I mean, that's a big asset to have when you want to do comedy.
Yeah, my mum says it's the lowest form of humor, so that's why I'm like, no, but I want to do
Yeah,
advocacy, and
yeah,
that's
sure.
why I like do better merch. But I don't know, maybe everyone says I'm funny. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know Better Merch supports people who need help, right, as
Mhm.
well, or they
Yeah.
give people a go. You know what?
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just, hey, give someone a go, right? And I know that they do that, and that's why we support them as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope I did a good job at interviewing. This is like one of my first times.
Really, geez, you're pretty good
Yeah.
at it.
It was lovely
You're a
talking to
natural.
you. Wait, really?
I actually think you should actually give comedy a go. Why not? What's it going to do? How's it going to? It's 5 minutes, right?
I might come on stage with you one day.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
you don't have to do gags about, cerebral palsy or being in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You could just do gags about other funny observations that you've had. You know, the
Maybe.
fact that you put out when someone said, "What did you say? Tell me you're not pop." What did you say? Tell me you're not popular at school.
You
What
can
was?
watch it. It was like, tell me you're not popular at high school without telling me, and I just showed them the wheelchair, and then it got so many likes.
Yeah,
And then like I know this is about you. I don't mean to be self-centered, but I thought I relate to you like that because like we both base our material on our life experiences.
yeah.
And there were people that were like, oh, like I'm gonna go to hell for laughing at this, and I was like, no, it's funny. But I know humor's subjective as well.
Yeah, it is very, very
Yeah,
subjective. You're right, but you can't help funny.
yeah,
You can't help. Laughing is an involuntary reaction. Okay, you can't help what you laugh at. You
yeah.
can't put it on. Well, you can, but it's, you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
can't
you can tell
constantly
when
be
it's
putting on
fake.
laughter. You can't be
Mm,
faking laughter all the time. So it's an involuntary reaction, and when you
yeah,
laugh, it means you kind of agree, or
yeah,
But it's interesting. A lot of people go, "I'm going to go to hell for that," but
yeah,
I don't think you will. So don't worry.
yeah. Is there anything more like while I've got you here that you want to speak on with Daddy Merch or just, in general?
Well, what else do you do for Better Merch apart from the socials? Do you do anything else?
Um, well, I do podcasts with Vicky because I wanna do disability advocacy.
Yep.
So I'm building up my portfolio, like a life
Yep.
experience.
Sure.
Before that, I was studying special education, but
Yep.
then I couldn't chase after the kids. So I thought, look, it's not the best career for me, but I love that. But yeah, I just help you with the videos and the podcast.
Yeah. Well, good on you.
Yeah.
Keep it up,
Thank
love.
you.
You're a natural. I can tell you that
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I can go on stage with you one day if you find me that funny.
Yeah. Where do you live? What area of Melbourne?
Geelong, but my family's in like Preston and like I'm down to Fairfield for work.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
just finished the show in Geelong. Next time we're in Geelong, come along and see.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
we'll
I'll
give you
follow
an
you.
opening 5 minutes and see how you go.
Yeah. Thank you. See ya.
All right. See you, sweetheart.
All the
Bye-bye.
best. Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend, and you have a great Christmas, okay?
You too. Bye bye. Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao. Bye.